Rampage Knights, a brawler with roguelite elements and a very Flash-style aesthetic. This is another one of the games that I've been recommended to play, and I have been doing it a little bit on streams as of late, but it wasn't until right now that I finally got a winning run. So I am not going to be jumping immediately into that one. I'm going to be doing a little bit of live commentary to start here. However, it's like this, well, I said roguelite elements, so, you know, procedural generation, permadeath. You only have 2 lives, as you can see in the upper left corner. It's pretty rough, but I'm going to try my best here. All right, so basics of the game, get your basic attack. You get a charge attack, which can sweep, destroy enemy shields, as well as knock down enemies, which is all pretty helpful because you can pick them up, throw them at other enemies. When enemies on the ground, you also have the option of doing big stompies on their face, which is very effective for getting a lot of damage done. Aside from that, there's jumping, also destroys shields, knocks back enemies, and really just also knocks them down a lot. You can stun lock enemies, but unless they're on the ground, they are very likely to get out of their hit animation pretty quickly and without any notice. And for a little bit more, at least slightly more advanced techniques, I suppose, you can like hold up and down when you're doing your basic hit combo. If I can do like a sort of a juggle, I suppose you could say. And then there's also holding down here to do a little bit more of an AoE attack. And that's going to become very relevant later on when the enemies start getting packed in here like sardines. It's pretty great. And aside from that, it's like jumping will make it so that you're pretty safe most of the time from enemy attacks, provided that you can actually stay in air. And everybody's favorite, well, certainly my favorite, the dodge roll. Works exactly like you think it does. All right, aside from that, it's like, the entire game is pretty much procedurally generated. There's a bunch of different places that I'll be seeing, a bunch of different like special rooms, shops, everything like that. Hopefully I'll be able to get something good. I mean, here, let's just take a look at the stats right now. Versus completed 1 game, which was the one you're probably going to be seeing at the end of this. I am going to be going with the standard, boring, unexciting default hero with any advantages or disadvantages. That's what I like playing in games. I'm sorry that's not good enough for you, Rampage Knights. But I've also got a lot of other characters unlocked. But come on, default. Default. Boring. I don't care if it's boring. That's what I'm going to do right now. And same thing with default appearance here, too. Probably going to be seeing the Troll with the Mohawk, because that's who I played for the winning run, but yeah. Difficulty. No, I think I will keep it at normal. Let's check out that Dark Castle. So yeah, when I say like a Flash aesthetic to this game, it's not just a Flash aesthetic, it's also a very like Newgrounds style of humor as well. If you ever play Binding of Isaac, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Perhaps somewhat corny, perhaps somewhat immature, but for the most part, this game actually plays pretty well, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So, it's one of those things that, much like Binding of Isaac, where as much as I am kind of rolling my eyes at some of the design decisions that Edmund McMillan likes, and that is just a cheeseburger in your classic fantasy area, for example. It's like this game is pretty legit. And if I did decide to play it, say, with co-op, which is pretty much the intended way to play it, it might be a lot better, but me play multiplayer games? Perish the thought. Never. Never, never, never. Never, ever. Well, anyway, I got the first potion. I mean, you can see on the upper part of the screen there, in the middle, it's like you got number 1, spells, don't have anything there yet. Number 2, some sort of consumable item, rocks, knives, bombs, whatever. No, that's probably what I'm going to be mostly using there, unless I get a very good spell. Depends. Mana is directly underneath the health bar, by the way. 3 is scrolls. Don't see those as much. They usually do something of interest, and usually there's something that I want to just use immediately. And then potions. I'm probably mostly going to have health potions there, if I'm being honest, because, yeah. Temporarily stronger, no thanks. But hey, I mean, this is that whole, like, procedurally generated rooms here. The fact that I got this coffin after beating up all of those gravestones, not guaranteed. Demons hate you and hit you twice as hard. I'm going to take it. I mean, it seems kind of questionable, but I'm going to try it out. And then basic magic up, and also a little bit of extra life? Sure. Health potion, I think, overall is going to be the thing to choose. Now let's also just pick up a few of these rocks here. You can see, like, damage at a distance, consumable. Your standard sort of fare when it comes to video games. You know how it is. Now, in the meantime, yeah. Fortunately, it's just like, don't really have a whole ton of those to be using. And depending on what they are, it's like I might not want to use too many of any sort of consumable item. And the first chest, and the first time I'm doing the lockpicking minigame, which I am just absolutely god-awful at. As long as you don't hit, like, these spike bits, you don't take damage, but if you do, you do! Which will happen a lot over the course of this. Great. I told you. Corny and immature. Anyway. Alright. At least a lot of these enemies to start out with here, not very threatening at all, but it's like they get so ridiculously, hugely packed in here and start to get like a bunch of wacky abilities too. Haven't even seen any of like the really large enemies as of just yet, but the second those guys start appearing is the second I start fearing for my life. We'll see. Thank you. As always, thank you, dodge roll. Hey, you know, a sign of a good brawler is having some sort of defensive option. I always think, because it's like a lot of times, you know, being quarter munchers, you usually sometimes just have to take a hit on the chin. Thankfully here, it's like, yeah, dodge roll's your classic. But hey, whatever, I'll take it. Whatever makes it easier for me. Oh yes, and if you're wondering, this disease and any sort of like a temporary effect in the upper right corner is how many rooms I have to go through before I can clear it off my character. I don't think that the donkey head does too much of anything, but whatever, it's fine. I don't even get any extra health from that onk. It's like, that's good, I suppose, because that means I'm not really taking a whole lot of damage, but still perhaps somewhat worrying. Okay, there, and now I've gone through enough rooms to no longer have, well, what is a pretty benign effect. There are a lot worse curses, diseases, everything like that than just having, you know, a Midsummer Night's Dream reference. Which, you know, I said like immature. It's like, that's like, I suppose if we're talking about the bard, that's not that immature. Whatever. Okay. Shielded enemies are pretty annoying, but the big charge attack does help out a lot. By the way, don't fall down into pits. Pits are instant death. And considering you only have 2 lives here, and it's not very easy to get extra lives, it's like, you kind of want to watch out for that one. Hell yeah, dude. That's the good potion. Also, that's a good spell, too. How about everything else here? Yeah, books are just increased magic damage, which is good, but I mean, you know, it's fine. Random disease. If I need to use it, I'll use it. I think I'm going to take the cudgel for right now. I'm not really going to worry too much about poison. There's a ton of undead around here. Undead can't be poisoned as per usual kind of fantasy rules. Well, Dungeons and Dragons rules, let's be honest here. Also immune to like enchantments and everything, but I don't really think that's going to be too big of a deal as of just yet. Ah, dang. Can take out an enemy if I... Here. Perfect. Now then. Well, while that's happening... Come on, please don't completely wang this one. Got it. Okay. Look, I said that I've been doing this on streams a lot lately, and it's like, oh boy, if you want to see me just utterly fail at the lockpicking minigame over and over and over, and oh my god, it just never ends. I mean, I can afford it. Just sure, whatever. Playing the sequel to Crazed right now. And you know what? Oh, no, I don't have enough money. 30? 50? Oh, it's 50. I might be back for that. I'm kind of interested in the mystery potion because I don't know, man. I'm down for a little bit of randomness here. Yeah, like I said, it's too many undead to be really effective poisoning. That said, it's like as soon as I start to get into some enemies that are a little bit more, come on, Actually, you know what? This is a good time for... I was going to say this is a good time for picking this guy up and just doing that. 2 birds with 1 stone. Didn't really quite happen in the way that I wanted to. I should be busting these things up if I possibly could. They contain money. They contain healing. Wow, I got a lot of healing here. There are some good things that you can trade health for in this game. The winning run I had recently, one of the potions that I got was poison immunity, but brings you down to 1 HP. And it's just like, that would be something to take right now when I got this much. Get over here. Oh, the shield, of course. That would be something to take right now when I got this much healing just kind of hanging around. There we go. Still not quite at the point where I'm going to be pulling up. Ooh, poison darts. Those are good. Well, I mean, I already have a lot of poison right now, so I suppose it's not that important, but still. Also should be using the contraption a little bit more. Ah, dang. I don't really need the thing is, I don't really need the jumping as of just yet. Maybe eventually. Jumping for the most part is not like super important in this game, but there are certain points where that can happen. Where I would not be opposed to getting something like that. Is that anything? No, this is nothing. However, this is just a bunch of enemies, but that's fine. That charge attack is real good. And to be honest, I would probably just do that all day, every day if I had my choice, but, you know. Not really the most effective strategy. Somehow I have gone like the entire game here without finding any of the really large enemies that you can't just knock over and start, you know, stomping or throwing everywhere. I'm guessing that's probably gonna happen soon enough. It's quite unusual to think that it hasn't happened just yet. Okay, I got enough money to go get the armor scroll, and considering that this is the end of the area, I think I'm gonna go do that. Yes, thankfully you are not forced to continuously go forward. I like a little bit of backtracking in a game like this, even though it is largely linear. It is nice to be able to have this option, especially when there are, you know, good items in shops. It's a rarity that you even need to do this in the first place. I don't want to get a disease. I just don't. I'm a little bit too worried about wacky things happening with that. What do you get? Turtle shell. Blocks hits 4 times, drops pizza slice on hit, and get the cool red mask. Yeah, in the original comics, every one of the turtles, also stinking really bad. This is appropriate for somebody that lives in the sewers. Anyway, yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, in the original comics, they all just had red masks. So, impossible to tell which one this could be. Not that I know the difference between the teenager turtles either way. Not really too much to be said on that point, I suppose. Alright, what do you got? I'll take a little bit of extra. I mean, I want to say that probably gives me extra, I don't know. Damage or something? I'm not entirely sure. Oh man, that is a lot of projectiles. Alright, but now you can actually see it's like we are really starting to get to the point where it's like enemies getting pretty tightly packed in here. And then of course it's like enemies are also going to start getting a lot more... Oh, I'm losing all my armor immediately. Enemies are also going to start getting a lot... Well, at least there's a lot of pizza on the ground, I suppose. Hey, it's Friday, baby. It's pizza day. Pizza time. Speaking of brawlers... I don't really need the extra health, but it's just like doing it anyway. Okay, big hit, throw in about 5 seconds, and now we're done. Most powerful thing in the game, big boot. Lot of health. Okay, what do you got? What do you got? Okay. All right. I like this. Oh, I don't have the money, of course. Well, if I get enough, I'll take the big, huge eyeball. Why not? Seems like that could be a quite good... Yeah, of course. This is a very precarious situation to be putting myself in, by the way. In fact, let's just real quick at least. No, not even one of them. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. Okay, but this is what I'm talking about. Consumables are your way out for the most part. Also, you know, could have done something like this too to get like a little bit of extra areas to walk around here. Oh well, this is why I got the potions and everything in the first place. I might die instantly to falling in pits, so do enemies. So if I can just get rid of these poison immune goblins, that's annoying. But it's like if I can just knock them down, I can also just hit them into the void too. Or they were just gonna be poisoned to death regardless. Hey, it all works, baby. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go back and get the extra health, as long as I don't completely wang this multiple times in a row. If you do that, by the way, you get a special, I guess you could call it disease curse. Multiplies thrown weapons, but makes them. I'll take it. And more health stuff. But yeah, as long as you. Okay. As long as you are just no, I forgot what I was saying. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Hey, I'll take faster and stronger for 10 seconds. I don't know. It's like the dwarven contraption is pretty cool, but if I'm gonna be like, you know, only doing the one run here, it's like I might as well try out a whole bunch of different weapons comparatively right now. No reason not to. Wait, no, it doesn't even matter because the shield, these shields are just like your basic Bloodborne promoting. What was the phrase in that game for the wooden shield? The passivity or something like that. But it's like, man, they can really block every single hit possible. Come on. Good. I don't know. Whatever. I don't even need the curses, considering that it's like I'm already like completely fine against demons and everything. Oh, here we go. Fine. It's weird that usually you see a bunch more large enemies by this point in the game, but for some reason, oh yeah, it hits three. I got the juggler's triplicator, but it's like for some reason just wasn't seeing that here. Oh, that's a problem. All I gotta do is just hurry up, right? Perfect. Money? I mean, should I go back? I'm thinking I should go back. Usually you don't have this much backtracking in this game. It's kind of surprising to see that it's showing up as of right now. That said, if I can get some good stuff here, I'm going to take every advantage that I possibly can. Yeah. These terrible, terrible Diablo dungeons. Dungeon Noblos are treacherous, but entirely possible to get through. Gimme. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. Anyway, there are also plenty more potions over here, too, which I might as well. Let's be honest here. Oh, I thought I had even one more than that, but I guess not. Who knows when I'm going to be switching out the belt after all. I'll be taking that. I'm going to see if it serves me well or if it just gets pitched off to the side for something a little bit more important. Either way, there's no reason not to take it. But am I going to take the schnapps right now? I'm not going to. Drunkenness as an effect is, of course, in this game. One, but two, also a little bit too annoying to really want to use if you don't absolutely have to. Like, from what I understand it, good. Okay. I can't quite get him. No, turn around, eyeballman. But yeah, drunkenness is a little bit too annoying. It does cure disease, which is pretty great, but, you know, does it matter that much? I keep trying to get my cool... Yeah, there we go. Fun fact about the giant mushroom man, splits into 3 tiny mushroom men every single time. Every single time. Making it one of the more annoying giants that you can fight. Kind of the only one that really has a very specific mechanic associated with it. I don't know. All right. No special stuff here. I mean, I did get the small heal, but, you know, what does that really matter all that much? 5 on entering a new floor. It does not really make a huge difference in the run. I only got 20? Yeah, okay, fine. I will, however, take that. Okay. Oh, dang it. Couldn't I have at least gotten that a little, just ever so slightly earlier? Oh, I'm really getting, like, hit hard right now. That said, I do really like having the frost. Oh, boy. Those gutter-esque poison spitters are not really inspiring me with a lot of confidence. Anyway. Take out all of these Danny Trejos here. They're maybe one of the more annoying enemies you can fight just because they are entirely about throwing stuff at you from a very long distance. They're also significantly tougher than... Well, pretty much every enemy has knives they can throw at you if they find a good opportunity, but those guys only do that. Could really use a little bit more health. I'm just saying. I do still have the extra life. It's just... I only got the 1. You know, turn around. Does good damage if you can line it up, but lining it up is a little bit somewhat out of the question. Nice. That's slightly better. Oh, did walk directly into the spikes. And yeah, you know what? I deserve that, to be fair. That was my bad. Enemies, of course, do not get affected by traps, which is ridiculous. That's some good stuff. Anyway. Oh. Oh, God. You know what? Oh, 3 of these? That's I didn't even think of that about that when I picked up those bombs. Okay. Get that attack. Jump attacks take out shields just as well as the charge attack. It's just the charge attack is easier to... Yeah, hell yes, dude. Obviously, this is what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to say this is the demon. Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. But the curse does not actually work because I do have curse immunity. You remember the belt that I picked up? There was absolutely no reason not to take that. Not to try and go for the full Monty, man. It's like, that's a lot of stuff that I got there. Also, give me this stupid parrot. I hate it, but I'm going to take it anyway. Also, does this even... Was I poisoned anymore? I don't even remember. I got some good stuff, though. Familiar and everything, I'm totally happy with how that turned out. Especially knowing that it's like I wasn't going to be taking any damage regardless. Well, there goes the Divine Shield. Not a big deal. It was only 1 hit regardless. Okay. Oh, boy. Yeah, just go for some big swings right now and then like throws. Good stunning on that. Good damage in general. Boy, those bomb guys really take themselves out as often as they take me out. Or other enemies in the room. I'm just saying I'm not too disappointed. All right. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going to be happening here, but let's do it anyway. Give me that shield. Give me that, like, literally everything that I possibly can. This is kind of one big boy. And I get 2 different armors. I think I recognize one of those. One of those is like a bomb armor. Yeah, explodes on hit. Immunity to explosions. Pretty nice. I don't know. I would need a lot of stun there, or not the stun. The run, the run stun. Whatever. I also recognize this. Lose my charge attack, the dash as it's called. Much better swing. Now it's going to make it harder to destroy shields. I still have the jump attack and everything. Also, this was the item that kind of carried me to victory in the actual winning run. So I'm taking it. He's quite good. Critical chance plus 15. Well, the choice is clear. Like, come on. Like good buffs, good shields. I think it's... I want to say this is looking pretty good, all things considered. Still, you know, it's hard to regain health unless you get the ridiculous potion drops that I got early on. Oh, boy. Take one sip of my coffee here, and then it's boss time. Oh, God. Well, where's my divine protection? Nope. And there goes one of my armor. Yeah. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Several different bosses that you could potentially fight here, but I don't know if this is really the worst one. I've seen some kind of questionable-ish bosses. Come, are you kidding me? Is that really... Whatever, it's fine. I've seen some kind of questionable bosses that you can fight here. This one seems to be one of the easier, or at least easier-ish ones to deal with comparatively. So I certainly ain't too disappointed with that. Said, still, I'm going to play this one a little bit cautiously. Now you might say, how is this cautious what you're doing right now? To which I say, whatever, nerd, shut up. Don't fall in that pit. Pit is instant death. Didn't matter anyway. Great. I mean, I guess if I wanted to go for a very eye-based build... Yeah, you know what? Whatever. Let's go. Good. Plus 30 critical chance against big enemies and bosses. I'm going to take it. I get the auto swing like that, right? And levitation just in... Oh, wait, no, there was a health potion down there. Oh, no, that was a bad play on my part. It's fine, though. It's fine. All right. Well, at least I still got curse immunity. That's cool. Curses are kind of bad. There's like one that causes all of the throwable objects in the room to become animated and attack you. There's the one that was just referenced the movie Crank that makes it so that you take damage when you're not attacking dudes. You also heal when you attack dudes, but like, come on. The payoff ain't really worth it. Come on, take him down. The eye lasers take a second to charge up, but right, don't do too bad of damage at all. That said, oh, it is very... This is... The cyborg arm. He's pretty good at really upping your DPS quite a bit. So I'm pretty happy with that. You know what? I'll take a little bit of less vitality for extra everything, basically. Whatever, man. Holy water, I'm still sticking with it just because I don't want to deal with curses. But I don't even know, like, how much that's going to be coming up soon enough in the game. Okay. Now, still not quite enough. All right. Good. Okay, there we go. I can still do the big stompies, which is helpful, but, you know. It is a little bit worrying because I am now really running out of durability on my armor. Hey, what do you got? Swing weapons really fast? Does that even matter? I'm gonna try it. No, that seems to do pretty much the exact same thing. So I guess it's not really worth taking. Keep the whole curse immunity just in case I find my... there goes one more durability. just in case I find myself being able to use that. Yeah. It is instant death if I fall in there, by the way. Remember that. Okay. Big stompies. Be honest, I could probably even go without... If I had that belt right there, I could probably even go without the bionic arm right now. Keep my dash attack, but... kind of already done. Oh, strength plus 5. That's not bad. Crab Warrior. Now, the thing with this is that you can't turn around. Of course, what does it matter if you got the robo arm? I'm taking it. Just because it's like, come on, that's cool, right? Big extra damage. Why not? Is what I say. Might not be able to turn around, but certainly with the amount of damage that I'm currently doing right now, with the amount of damage that I'm currently doing right now, it should be totally fine. Yeah. I think. I can only hope. Sure. I mean, certainly it's not something that I won't use. And also a bunch of friendly crabs helping me out here too, which is pretty great, but oh, come on. Gotta get the diamonds. Let's get the good gold. But certainly that's not really the reason why I got 50% extra critical seems pretty good. Don't I get like extra critical with the my armor and my weapon currently against large enemies? Which are of course the more difficult to actually fight and everything. Okay. I haven't really been able to do too much for despite the fact that I have a very like I guess you could consider it throw type of build. Sure, why not? Faster's not too bad. Like a throw type of build, haven't really been using too much of that as of just yet. We'll see how that do in the future. But for right now, it hasn't been... Okay, hasn't been super rough just yet. Still, the thing that I'm really afraid of is the fact that, again, I only have 1 life left. I only have 2 armor durability left. And as soon as I lose that sort of stuff, oh boy, it's going to start getting... Oh, right, I can only face one direction, can't I? Well, so much for the whole, like... Get rid of that shield. At least I got a really large weapon to be able to take out some of these dudes. Good. Watch out for poison. I mean, obviously, they got the same sort of green stink clouds that I do. If I had poison immunity, it wouldn't be too big of a deal, but you know. Oh boy, okay. Now it's like actually starting to get to be a problem. I think like the arena is kind of basically considered the second boss of the game. Of what, I guess 3? In each run that you do. But I know the first boss can kind of vary. I don't think I've ever seen anything different aside from the... Okay. Aside from the arena for kind of like the second thing here. Mages are very deadly. I don't like these guys. Good. Apparently got a sick Chivo for that. I assume it's just unlock or defeat enough of those. Well, at least with the bionic arm, and especially like the extremely large swing on this, I was able to take these guys out pretty effectively. I mean, like I said, this was the same basic sort of run that I got the actual win of the game with. A little bit better items, but you know, really going for like big, huge attacks. Fast and short. Not too bad, but you know. Gonna do it. I am going to do it. Random demonic power and a curse. Well, I have a way to get rid of a curse. Alchemist Nightmare? Well, doesn't matter. It's already gone. Yeah. Whatever. I think that was probably the right choice to make. I don't know. The war paint seems kind of questionable, especially considering that I don't really have too much for armor or armor at all now that I'm looking at it. Oh, well, as long as I don't get in a bunch of very tiny areas, it should be okay, right? Right? Okay. Don't get hit by anything. Don't get hit, forehead, and you'll be fine. That damage, though, is very good. Like, very, very good. However, is it going to be enough to take me to the end? I don't know. I'm going to say maybe. I don't. It's a different spell. I suppose I'm not really using the spell that I have right now too much, but it does give me that cool eyeball on my head. So, I walked right into the spikes. Okay. I mean, the Ank's nice. The Ankh is something that will at least is. So anyway, yeah, I do have a run already prepared right now, and I'm going to be switching to that right at this point. Oh man, I really thought that last run was going to go the distance, but unfortunately, yeah, when you have that little health and no armor, you are just opening yourself up to really gigantic hits like that. Oh well, this time I have a much better weapon, and I also have a piece of armor, despite having not too much more health compared to the previous run. See, this weapon that I got right now, occasionally when you swing it, you call down a meteor to attack your enemies. Combine that with the fact that I have the bionic arm, that's a lot of meteors that I call down, especially when I'm hitting large groups of enemies. Or even just the wall. Combine that with the fact that my demonic armor will regenerate 1 point of durability for every room that I clear. I'm able to weather big hits a lot more than I was in that previous run. It's overall just a lot better. All I need to do is just exercise even the slightest bit of caution and not lose the demonic armor, and I should be fine. Now, the downside to having the bionic arm and the bionic leg, which gives me the infinity jump, as you saw there, just jump as many times as you want. Also, spring boots, I think, means that I have a really hard time destroying shields. Like a really hard time destroying shields. The giant jump makes jump attacks unpredictable, can't do dash attacks. The magic that I just picked up, the lightning rod, is actually very effective at taking out enemies even through shields. Same thing with the meteors I'm calling down, but, you know, I'm going to run out of mana pretty quickly, even though it does do very good damage. The meteors are not the most predictable thing, so it is still a little bit scary. But hey, at least with the ability to like jump infinitely, I don't have to worry at all about falling into pits, which is, of course, like I said, instant death. Hey, there's more demonic armor. You can actually see exactly what it does too. Fire immunity as well as like lowering your vitality a little bit. At this point in time, I'm actually completely immune to fire, explosions, and poison. So it's unlikely that I would be taking damage aside from just physical damage that you get that would have to go through the armor first. So yeah, poison immunity. I think I mentioned previously that I got that by drinking a potion that gave that to me at the cost of bringing me down to 1 HP, which was worth it. As long as you got enough health potions. Yes, I know, there's the gigantic wheel of misfortune in the middle of this room. I was seriously considering it. Like, I really wanted to do it. Because, look at the thing. How can you not want to? However, it's too good of a run. Like, I'm just like, yeah, but if I summoned any enemies or anything, that wouldn't be too bad. Like, I could deal with any enemies that get summoned. I could probably deal with any sort of like major issues aside from maybe the I think there's one there that just kind of kills you instantly too. And the demonic curse would also be quite bad. So I took the coward's way out, but I don't care. I was in it to win it, you understand? This is not about just wow, you actually landed on top of the pillar there. Sure. Anyway, yeah, it's like, I mean, to win it, it's not about trying to style on the game or anything. I was going to play it somewhat cautiously and make sure that I wasn't going to be taking any sort of really unnecessary risks. The run's going fine. I have a sword that calls down meteors when I swing it. What more do I really need? I mean, well, a little bit more survivability. Like, for example, an extra life would be nice, but, well, we can't always get what we want. I do believe that I did lose that life by running into a shield enemy before I got the, well, either the meteor sword or the lightning. Well, obviously I got it before the lightning rod because I already was down 1 life by that point. But the point is, it's like, those guys are really my worst enemies right now. And it's frustrating to deal with, but, you know, it's not insurmountable. Certainly, if I just keep whacking my sword against the walls, I still summon down meteors. So I have some sort of defense against this, regardless of what I'm doing. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to kill all the enemies in a room before I get hit multiple times. And that means that my armor is never going to go away. And with immunity to every other like status effect in the game, no problem at all to stay alive here. Unless I accidentally fall in a pit. Or something just goes extremely wrong. This was the farthest I ever made it in the game, and this was also the point in time that I started to encounter a lot more enemies like the wizards, who certainly have a lot more ranged attacks and the like that can catch me off guard. Or Cyclops, for example, which I also saw a little bit earlier, too. Yeah, these guys are not going to be exploding me this time because, like I said, poison immunity. 1 health does not matter a whole lot if you have a ton of healing items and potions around. The potions, for the most part, are very risk-reward based, which I like quite a bit, because they can do things like give you extra lives but poison you a lot. You know, just do something completely random. Obviously, a lot of extra health, but larger hitbox. Or, not extra health. You know, extra health, but diseasing you. Extra damage, but drunkenness. Extra power, but larger hitbox. You know, a lot of that sort of stuff, which I think is, I mean, it's interesting. Certainly, it does kind of discourage you from using a ton of potions for the most part, unless you're really gambling, but early in the game, why not? Why not do a lot of gambling? The only thing that is very, very damning for a run, I suppose going down to 1 health for the poison immunity is kind of, depending on your situation, are the demonic curses, and you got the right stuff, you can kind of avoid that, whether it's getting the holy water potion to kind of purge that, scroll that does that too, I don't remember what that one's called. Like Scroll of Purity or something like that. Or, you know, that belt that I had. Something to kind of protect you against that. Like, you can get some really, really big power increases without losing too much if you have immunity to that. If you don't, then you got Crank, and now you are taking damage constantly unless you're attacking enemies, which is bad. Also, enemies throwing a bunch of daggers is still incredibly frustrating. Didn't lose my armor there, but could have. As of right now, I for whatever reason I didn't find a whole lot of shops in this run, so I was actually able to afford all 3 of the wares here, which I don't know if they made a huge difference, but certainly they make good company with a little lightning crystal dude that I got right now. And now that I think about it, I could have also probably used my scroll, which is a free item from shops, but I didn't. I had the money, and it's not like the money was going to be too useful for much of anything else anyway. Yeah, after taking 2 points of durability off my armor in that previous room, I was being a little bit overly cautious in this place, but I do think that, you know, the armor is kind of what is saving me for the most part. Because Rampage Knights is a game where it's not so much about, well, usually not about taking really big hits, but kind of being whittled down over rooms. Because you only got so much health here. So the ability to just kind of have, like, armor become regenerating armor or like any sort of regenerating health like I had with the Ankh in the last run is very valuable. Also, just something to prevent you from falling down pits. Oh my god, I've lost so many lives just falling down pits. It is terrible. A lot of different spells. But if I'm being honest, Lightning Rod is all I need. It does such good... For the amount of mana it uses, it does such good damage that there's no reason not to. And once again, since I'm going very, very risk-averse, decided to skip that treasure chest and then open up the Iron Maiden anyway. I'm more confident in my ability to fight things than not fall down pits while trying to open chests. If you screw up opening a chest, you get knocked back quite a way, and that can knock you into a pit, which will kill you. Cannot say this enough, but it's like, that is such an easy way to die. While nice, let's be honest here, not better than what I'm currently using. So forget about that. Instead, getting in here, and as soon as I send out the bees, another one of the many, many items you can get in this game. Gives you like an initial attack on any enemy that spawns in to damage them with bees randomly. Why not? It's like, just rush in here and meteor everything down immediately. It's great. And Laboratory is actually the final level. This is the final boss right here. I wasn't entirely sure, but it's like as soon as I saw there's only one guy in here that spawned, and especially after this, it became pretty abundantly clear. Not the worst. A lot of health. Like, my god, there's a lot of health on this guy. But the whole, like, meteor rain and the fact that he mostly acts like just a giant enemy could be way worse. I'll say that right now. That said, when it comes to just like bursting down a single dude, I got no problem with that at all. I don't really think like a big wizard would be the final boss here. But it's like, hey, this game is a little bit light on plot. I know, big shock. Anyway, for the final little bit, we're going full on. What it reminds me of is the end of I Want to Be the Bashi. I don't know if anybody else feels the same. But yeah, I decided to go with, of course, what else? Give it a lick. Is that a Weeble Stuff reference? Oh boy. You know, I mentioned like the whole Newgrounds type of humor. It's like, wow, right there, man. Can't get any more old than that. Tastes just like raisins. All right, and this is actually, yeah, I mean, this especially is just very Solgren in how it attacks in that game, but that's neither here nor there. Really not too bad, and although I don't really have too much opportunity to regen up durability on my armor, it's like, at this point in time, doesn't matter too much. Also having the huge, like, ridiculous amounts of, the huge, ridiculous amounts of, familiars here, too, also helping out quite a bit. I think specifically the lightning crystal that I got here is eventually ends up helping me in this battle a lot. Yeah, at first I thought those H things were just were power-ups, but no, they're just health, which is fine. I mean, I don't even need all that much health, really. I've been able to work without... Well, thankfully it doesn't count 2 hits in quick succession like that as 2 hits. So I can... I do thank the small mercy of that part of the game. But yeah, as you can see, not even a problem. There we go. That is the full run. Well, 2 runs stitched together into a simulacrum of a full run of Rampage Nights. So yeah, I like this game quite a bit. It's like it is pretty legitimately fun, even as kind of like goofy and silly as it is. Like the roguelite elements are not extreme in how they're presented. You know, for the most part, it's like you don't have too much difference in between runs. It's not like, you know, Binding of Isaac where you can completely change like your entire shot and everything, Brimstone or like Ludovico style. But at the same time, it's like it does it does present a lot of... there's like a surprising amount of stuff to do, and you can get some like really different rooms, of which like you haven't even seen half of them that I showed off in this video alone. So yeah, I mean, I think that especially if I did end up playing it, by the way, we are going to go through every single one of the enemies getting killed here, as you do. But yeah, I do think that it's like, yeah, if I did decide to play this a little bit more co-op style and probably got more into the like extreme difficulties, this game would present like a pretty interesting challenge. But oh, good lord, co-op. I mean, you know, once again, me and multiplayer. So it's like, yeah, I definitely recommend this one. Ultimately only took me, I think, like 8 hours or something to complete this, but I did also have one hell of a run going at that point in time, too. So if I did want to pump up the difficulty a bit, it probably would be significantly longer to beat this game otherwise. Oh, well, in the meantime, let's just watch a bunch of enemies that I didn't even see in that. That one was like part of a boss fight that... There are like 3-4 different bosses that you can fight as your first challenge there. And I think I got the easiest one in both of these rounds. It was actually the same boss, the slime guy. But those things can get kind of frustrating otherwise. And maybe there is also like different final bosses. I never found out because that's about as far as I got into the game. But, you know. Either way, I think that whatever I was presented with by the end there, I would have been totally fine going up against. And despite the fact that this is not really a Halloween game, I'm going to say that it's Halloween enough to count anyway. So I'm glad that I was at least able to beat the game by this point in the year. You know, those wizards. They really were probably the closest to killing me most of the time. Because they just do... They just have the ability to hit you from pretty much anywhere. I don't even know what that chicken guy is. But that is Rampage Knights. Pretty good game.